In this video, I'll tell you about making rectangles in AutoCAD. So we've already seen the simple methods of making rectangle using the line tool, but we have a direct method of making rectangles in AutoCAD as well, and that's using the rectangle tool. So here we have this rectangle tool on the draw panel, and when you expand the flyout, you'll see the rectangle tool here. Now select the rectangle tool, and now you need to specify the first point for making the rectangle. And you can specify the first point as 0, 0. That will be the origin in this case, and you can see that the rectangle starts from the first point at origin. Now look at the cursor, which is at this vertex of the rectangle. And now when you look at the command line, you'll see that it's prompting you to specify the other corner point, and that is this corner point on which we have our cursor right now. So all you need to do is enter the coordinates of this point. So let's say that we want to make a rectangle with length 10 and width 5. So in that case, the coordinates of this point will be 10, 5. And now press enter, and here we have it, the rectangle with length 10 units and width 5 units. So now in this case, we made this rectangle from the origin. That's why it was very easy for us to make a rectangle with this kind of length and width. But what if we make the same rectangle not from the origin? So I'll start the rectangle and click anywhere in the drawing area to make the rectangle, and that will be the first point. Now we again need to make another rectangle with length of 10 and width of 5 units, but in this case I'll simply enter 10, 5. And now look at the results. And instead of making a rectangle with length 10 and width 5, the next rectangle simply snapped to the same point, which was 10, 5. So in this case, we need to change some parameters. So now I'll erase this rectangle and I'll start the rectangle tool. Now again, I'll click anywhere in the drawing area. And now obviously, if you want to make a rectangle with length of 10 and width of 5 in such a way that it does not start from the origin, then you need to add this add sign. So this add sign will tell AutoCAD that the origin point is this one, the original point on which we have clicked to start this rectangle. And now simply enter length, 5, that is width, and press enter. And here we have it, the rectangle with length 10 and width 5 units. So whenever you need to make a rectangle, you need to simply enter add sign and then length and then width. So that will make the rectangle of desired value. Now we can also add some properties to this rectangle, and one of the property is fillet or the rounded edges. So let's start this rectangle. And now look at the command line. So we have these multiple options here. I'll select the fillet, and now I'll enter 1 as the fillet radius. So we'll learn about fillets later on in the next module. And for this example, I'll simply make a normal rectangle with a fillet of 1 unit. So now we have specified the fillet value. Simply specify the first corner. And now when you start making the rectangle, you'll notice that the rounded corners will be formed automatically, and the radius of these corners or the vertices will be 1 unit, and that's the fillet which we have applied. So you can click anywhere in the drawing area to make the rectangle, or once again you can enter add length, width to make the rectangle of desired value. So I'll simply erase it, and I will change the values once again. So I'll go to fillet again, and I'll change the value back to 0. And now I'll make another rectangle like this. So if you want to make a rectangle with some width, that also you can do. So for that, I'll select the rectangle tool again. And now here we have an option of width. So let's select this width and apply a width of 0.5 units. And now click at a point to start the rectangle, and then click at another point to end it. And now here we have this rectangle with some thickness or some width. And we'll also learn about this polyline width later on in this course. So we again need to start the rectangle tool, select the width option and change the width value back to 0. And here we have the normal rectangle. So let's now erase it. So in this way, we can make a rectangle with variety of different options in AutoCAD.